Hi guys, so it's been a while since I've made anything gaming related. It's also been a while since I've actually done any videos because of Microsoft's anniversary update. It actually broke my webcam. Um, so I actually fixed it last night, so this is my first video in a while. I want to talk about what I just picked up. Those who are longtime watchers of my channel know that I had a PlayStation 3, and I made a shitload of videos about the Eli death. And I had the original 60 gig PlayStation 3. I still have it, but it's back in New Jersey, and I just really don't feel like paying for it. So what happened was there was actually a sale, and I managed to get my hands on this. So I know this is a Slim, but it's kind of cool, like just specifically about this. So this is the 2100. This is the CECH-2101B. So it's the 250 gig model, but it's the one where they shrunk down the RSX processor to 40 nanometers. But the thing is, this is used, but it's in a new condition. So basically, the system looks pretty new to me, and I know how to spot for things that are obvious, like wear and tear, stuff that would really like kind of express that this console was used. It looks like this was just sitting on the shelf of a GameStop because when I plugged it in, there was nothing on it. All the ventilation is completely spotless. There's no signs of using chemicals. Everything looks like it just came straight out of the box. And I mean, even like the back ports and everything, there's no scratches along them. Same thing with the USB ports. There's no scratches around there. For all intents and purposes, I consider this in like new condition. So I got this strictly so I can play Kingdom Hearts 2, 2.5 HD Remix. And I never played Kingdom Hearts 2 before. I did play Birth by Sleep on the PSP, and I wanted to replay it again. But I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts 2 before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, which I believe is coming out next year. But they're also releasing Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD on the PlayStation 4, and I want to get that because it has Dream Drop Distance on there. But I am having so much fun. I think I'm at the part where Santa Claus is getting like captured by Oogie Boogie and Maleficent. So I've invested over 13 hours into this game already, and it's just a lot of fun. So that's that. But back to the PlayStation 3. This system is just so quiet. Like I'm blown away because again, my experience with the PlayStation 3 is strictly from the original 60 gig. That's the first PlayStation 3 I had, and it's the one that I've used pretty much for all my games. So I'm used to playing a game and the fans kicking into high gear, even though I've dissected the machine multiple times and I've done pretty much everything I can think of to improve the cooling capability of the heatsink. To no avail. Like you could just turn on the system, let it sit at the main menu for like 5 minutes, and then the fan is like kicking into high gear. Watching a Blu-ray movie was annoying as hell on that because the fan would be louder than the movie. And then also on top of that, the whole system would heat up your room like nobody's business. Like I had a very small room when I started doing my YouTube videos. I was living with my parents back then, and that system was like more effective of being a heater than it was being a game console, I guess. But no, it's definitely a different experience using this thing. It is much lighter, it's much smaller, it uses less power, it is dead silent. I don't even hear it. I forget that the damn thing is even on, which I wish the original 60 had that same like thing. I guess when it first came out, it kind of had that. But over time, it's just that since it was such a poorly designed system, the thermal the thermal dissipation capabilities is just shit. And I've seen some really cool mods. Like I if I could find it, I might link it below in the description. But this one guy literally took a PC case, like a micro ATX case, and he basically gutted the PlayStation 3 60 gig, put the internals in there, extended some of the wiring and stuff with some soldering, and he put a water cooling system in there, and then he also put additional like heat spreaders on all the other components that get hot. And then there's a fan blowing across all of that, and there's a giant water block that's for the heating of the RSX processor as well as the cell processor. And it's really cool, and it plays everything, PS2 games and all that. And it's like kind of one of those things where if I had the time and I had the money, I would probably do that. I think it's a cool idea. And that is essentially bulletproofing your console, because at that point, I mean, the processors don't get any hotter than like 40 degrees Celsius at any given time. So they don't get hot enough to even crack or stress out the solder balls. So I have this system for now. I'm very like happy with it. It's working really well. I started re-downloading a lot of the PSN games I have, like Wipeout HD, Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty, Infamous. I'm trying to think what else. What else do I have on here? I really don't have that much on there. But all my games are still in New Jersey, so I'm hoping at some point in the next few months I'll be able to afford to mail everything out. I have it all packed up, ready to go. It's like one big ass box, and it weighs so much. It weighs like 100 pounds, but the thing has all of my games, all my Blu-rays, it's really well packed. So we'll see how much that's going to cost me, but it would be nice to play all my games again. Just what's funny is also with this system, it's reminding me all the things I hate about the PlayStation 3. Like having to wait for shit to download and install everything. The fact that you can't do one thing while you're doing another thing. Like the PlayStation 4, I totally forgot how much more convenient it is than the PlayStation 3. You have to wait for a game disc to install, but you could do other things while it's installing. You could stick the disc in, you could play a game that's on your hard drive while it's installing the game. You can download all different application updates, which it does it automatically. You don't even have to like launch each application like you do on the PS3. So it's just infinitely more convenient to use than this PlayStation 3. I just wish that Sony also like had PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility in the PS4. I think that would have been a much needed thing, and I can understand why they didn't do it, because it would have been it would have essentially added an additional like $200 to the cost. But I think there's a lot of games that those who didn't own a PlayStation 3, I think there's a lot of exclusives that are available for the PS3 that they're not going to be able to enjoy. It's not like with the Xbox One, there's plenty of Xbox 360 exclusives that you could just pop right in and go. I think that Sony really kind of dropped the ball there. But I just wanted to like kind of mention that I got this game. I'm having fun. I've also been playing The Evil Within, which is fucking amazing. I'm playing it on PC, and I'm blown away. Like my roommate's cousin was telling me, he's like, yeah, you gotta try this. If you liked Resident Evil 4, this is made by the same guy. It's heavily influenced by it, but it's a totally different story, different cast of characters, different things. It's not like the Las Plagas or anything like that. This is just some really cool shit. I'm not finished with the game yet. I'm towards I don't know, middle or the end or something, but it's fun. It's really good. And if you haven't checked out The Evil Within, definitely check it out. It's really good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing lately. I did also like kind of fix their console a little bit. Like their PlayStation 3 Slim, they have the 2000 series, which still has the 65 nanometer RSX processor. And basically, the way that these consoles work is that the intake ventilation is underneath. It's like a mushroom. So you see all this. This is all the intake ventilation. So it was all clogged with dust, and also the heatsink was. So I tore the machine apart, dusted everything out, and then I repasted it. And now the system's dead silent again. Like it's as quiet as this one. And it blew me away. I was like, oh, holy shit. And they're like, wait a second. It's not turning off after 10 minutes. This is cool. And then on top of that, like with their PlayStation 4, I was like, fuck, while I'm at it, why not take that thing apart? So I got to take apart a PlayStation 4. you don't have to. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I mean, the only thing that sucks is like the metal shroud on the inside is all security bits, so I had to buy a new security bit screwdriver. But it was relatively easy. You know, I dusted everything out, and then I also replaced the paste on that as well. Sony does use like an Arctic Silver like paste. It's not Arctic Silver. It's the same thing I see with a lot of laptops where the paste is over applied. They put way too much, and it's also just low quality. So I've replaced the paste on that, and that system is quieter than my launch PS4. And my launch PS4, I kept it in really good condition. I've never taken it apart yet, but like even when I'm playing like if I'm playing Uncharted 4 and stuff, you'll hear the fan kick in, you'll hear it spin up, you'll hear it, it's audible. And then when you quit the game, the fan goes down in speed. But theirs, like, they were playing Just Cause 3 or they're playing these intensive games, and the thing was quiet. I didn't even hear the fan. I was like, I thought for a second that I didn't have the fan plugged in, but it is. It is plugged in. And it is spinning because we took off the bottom, which is funny, is it's upside down. So on the PlayStation 3, if you take off this top lid, you'll see the fan is like pretty much right around here, and then you have the heatsink, and then you have the power supply in the back. On the PlayStation 4, it's upside down. So the fan is actually on the bottom, so when you take the bottom panel off, and it's like this, you'll have the Blu-ray drive here, you'll have the fan right here, and then you'll have the power supply here. It's actually much more tightly packed on the PlayStation 4 than it is on the PlayStation 3 Slim. So it's actually not that hard to actually just dust it out, actually. All you have to do is on the back, there are 3 screws. You remove those 3 screws, and then you could take the bottom panel right off, and then there you go. The fan is right there. You can dust it out. You could take out the power supply, which is held by 5 screws. 3, I think it's 4. 3 security bits, 1 Phillips head. You take that off, and then you could blow air backwards through the ventilation and get all the dust right out there. So if your warranty's expired, it's stupid easy to dust out the PlayStation 4. It's very well designed. It's not like the original 60 gig PS3 where just to get to the fan, you have to take the entire thing apart. So it's actually really quick. It's only 3, as I said, it's only the 3 screws before you can even get to the fan. So if you want to do a little bit of maintenance to kind of get the dust out of there, so that way it's a little bit quieter, definitely do that. In terms of, are you going to reduce any sort of problems from happening? I don't really think so. I think that the system is very well designed, and also chips have gotten to that point where they're just like, I think that the big problem with the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 was it was just the wrong form factor at the wrong time. These processors required more cooling than they were willing to fit in a tiny box. So these processors just got hotter than they're supposed to be. And that's why you had all those problems, because they're trying to cram this like high energy using chip in such a small package. Whereas if it's in the desktop or something, hell, desktop CPU coolers are big enough that, you know, that's not a problem. But processors have gotten so small and so energy efficient now, where they just don't generate anywhere near the heat that they used to. That's why you have your TDP, and the TDP is much lower on the PlayStation 4 than the original 60 gig PS3. So it can get away with a much smaller heatsink. Overall, I think that the heatsink design is actually quite well. It's literally a PS3 Slim, just for the PS4. So it's the same design. It works really well. I think it was a very well designed system, just from that. And it's like every piece fits in perfectly. It's very interesting. There's not a lot of air gaps. It's not like the PS3 60 gig where there's a lot of empty space inside. They really did a good job like shrinking it down, and I'm really curious to see how the PlayStation 4 Slim looks on the inside. I want to see if they manage to make things even smaller. It's going to be pretty cool to see. So I'm going to shut up now. I also want anyone who's watching this video, please subscribe to my friend's cousin. His name is Matt Black. I'm going to have a link to his channel below. Just show some love. I think his content's actually pretty good. He does a lot of Let's Plays. He does some live streams. So and he also does pretty decent commentary. He's not like me where I'm like quiet half the time. He actually interacts with people, and he's very like, you know, easy going, very easy to get along with, and he's really funny. So definitely check out his channel if you get a chance. Subscribe. I have him also on the featured channels list. So show Matt some love, and yeah, take care, guys. Look out for future videos.